We can see that they're subtotals because the act column on this line is blank, so it's taken all the acts and their sums and added them up and produced them on this line. Similarly for the compact center, we've taken those 4 acts and added them on this line. The same applies to the Orpheum, of which there is only 1, and we get the same amount on that line with a grand total down here. If we go back to our diagram, we can see that it's exactly the same as that diagram. This is the query that produced this picture in iSQL+. The cube clause. Once again, we see that the cube clause creates 3D or three-dimensional cross-tabulation reports. What is a 3D cross-tabulation report? The easiest way is to demonstrate. Here is a 3D cross-tabulation report using the same query as we used with the rollup, with the venues and the acts. Here we can see that we have a total for the first venue, a total for the second venue, and a total for the third venue. Down the bottom we have a grand total for all acts and venues. In here we have totals for the individual acts, regardless of which venue they're at and how many shows there are. So let's demonstrate the application of group by cube on the same query we used with the last rollup group by function. This is the result we get. As in the diagram shown here, we get all the acts within venues with a total for the venue, applying to Arco Arena, Compact Center, and the Orpheum. Then we get a total for each individual act, regardless of the venue, and finally the grand total. Now let's take a look at the grouping sets clause. Here it says that grouping sets is used to filter groups and multiple groups. What does this mean? Again, we'll demonstrate by example. Take a look at this picture. In this picture, I've actually gone ahead and used the grouping sets clause to quite simply filter all the subtotals and totals out. How would we get to this result using grouping sets on a group by? Let's take a look at the example. I got a couple of examples using grouping sets. So I'm going to group by, firstly, grouping sets. I'm going to specify these 2 columns, this column, and this column. These are the things I want to include. In the second one, I'm going to specify these, and in the third one, I'm going to specify just these. So what do these statements do? Let's take the first one, where we've included all combinations. That means get these totals, and get these totals. Let's run the first one with everything. Here we can see the result. What we have here is all the totals. We have all the values for the combinations of the venues and acts, all the subtotals for each act, and all the subtotals for each venue, regardless of either venue or act.